Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. From today, we're going to take a look at four beers from a long-standing craft brewer in Japan. And this is one that I used to see a lot more than I do these days. They used to appear in beer bars in the western part of Japan, but these days I haven't seen them as much. They do have a number of canned and bottled varieties which show up from time to time, and that's what I'm going to look at here. They have a line of regular beers, and then really what are more interesting are their seasonal beers. The brewery I'm talking about is Iwate Kura, and they are kind of an offshoot of a sake brewer called Sekinoichi Shuzo. And an interesting thing about this brewery is actually it's a cooperative of five different companies that make sake to produce this craft beer. They're located in the far north of Japan, in Iwate Prefecture, and in fact they're in the area that was hit very hard by the earthquake, the very large earthquake that hit Japan and tsunami. They did sustain some damage during that, but they are certainly back in business, and they're fine, definitely, at this point. Their beers are also unpasteurized, all of them. Most craft beers tend to be, but some, of course, want to increase their shelf life. Again, I'm going to look at their two of their main lineup beers, and then two of their special beers, and the first one will be this one called King Kura. Their cans, they have three beers in their cans: a pilsner, which we will look at, and a stout, which we will look at, and a red ale, which we won't. I couldn't find it here. They have a can designed by the design company called Nendo, which is very kind of innovative company. You can check them out online, Nendo, and they have done a design for their cans, the cans of Iwate Kura, and they have incorporated several elements into this. So what this says here is Kin Kura, which means kind of gold Kura. Kura is a warehouse or a storehouse, traditionally for agricultural products. But at the top, what they've done is they've made the Chinese character, the kanji for gold, which is what kin means here, into a kind of stylized roof. And then below, kura, the kanji for kura, but with English letters, K-U-R-A, written in as well. So they've kind of combined elements from Japanese and from the Roman alphabet into this design here. So very interesting design. We'll see about the beer here. The other thing is that they call this Kuraft, and they sponsor, or one of the sponsors for the Ichinoseki Beer Festival in late August, which is held every year in late August, and it is one of the premier beer festivals in Japan. It's quite far away from everything, but a lot of people go there, and a lot of breweries turn up. Usually 50, 60 breweries will show up there for a multi-day festival. Okay, well, I have a little surprise. I thought I was going to be doing four beers from Iwate Kura, and I was at a store today and I found a fifth beer, and I'm going to include it in this rundown of Iwate Kura beers, and that is this one. It is called Iwate Kura Aka Kura Red Ale. And this is actually the same as their regular Iwate Kura Red Ale. It's considered an alias on RateBeer for the same one, so simply repackaged. It's a red ale or Irish at 5.5%. And on RateBeer, this one has 27 ratings, an average score of 3.1%, 3.1 out of 5, 41 percentile for all beers on RateBeer, and 61% for the style, which is red ale or Irish. On Untapped, it has 502 ratings for an average score of 3.33, so a little bit higher than RateBeer scores. Anyway, I was happy to find this. This is one of the 3 canned versions that they put out there. Their Kura Pilsner and their Kura, which is their stout, and this one, which is a red ale, Iwate Kura. So, and we'll be looking at the stout in the next video for sure. Okay, let's give this one a go, shall we? It's a red ale, Irish style, as not to be confused with like I say, a Flanders red, which I doubt that they would make. Okay. So it is a perfectly clear, very pretty kind of amber red, not quite mahogany, not dark enough to really be mahogany, I don't think. And looking at it in the light, it's a very, very pretty color with a rather thick head. This is like 3 fingers of head. I poured out a little bit hard, perhaps, but in the past I think I had it and it was somewhat similar. Kind of clumpy, rocky sort of head. You know, spongy. Really is like a slice of sponge put into the glass. Here, so pretty thick and heavy. Carbonation, I'm not sure if we can see carbonation rising. Not really. Can't get anything going there. Okay, the initial. Mild roast malt. Kind of a touch of chocolate maybe, but primarily roast malt. Okay, with a little swirl we get some kind of dark fruit, some kind of tangy, dried dark fruit. Very fruity initial, something like plums, maybe light raisins or light prunes, not strong. I get a sense of yeast coming up in mid palate. It's very tasty. Unfortunately, it fades very quickly, but I think this style is designed to be similar to a lager or pilsner in drinkability. You're not expected to get a lot of complex flavors out of it. It's something you can knock back and enjoy it that way. It has a close to medium body, so a little bit heavier than average. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, very definitely a decent, very tasty beer. It's not going to knock you out with complexity at all, but you might want to give it a try. Once again, it's called Iwate Kura, Iwate Kura Red Ale, 5.5% from Iwate Kura Brewers, way up in northern Japan. Okay, we're going to look at 2 more Iwate Kura beers in our next videos, and I hope you will watch those. And I want you to leave me a comment if you like. Let me know what you think about this beer if you've had it. And subscribe to the channel. Okay? Hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye-bye.